This is the Bootime GT73 Pro electric dirt bike, and the look hits me right away. It's got that Minamoto vibe, sharp plastics, a long flat seat, and a chunky battery box that mimics a gas tank. It sits tall on thick 25 by 3-inch knobby tires and a steel frame that feels closer to a small motorcycle than a typical e-bike. In my opinion, that's the appeal. It's unapologetically aggressive. I went into this with a little hesitation. I've been wanting more power and better off-road handling, but anytime I pay real money for something I have to assemble, I get nervous. From my experience, the unboxing took a lot of that stress away. Most of it was pre-assembled. I spent about half an hour finishing things up, then I went back with a wrench and rechecked the hardware. A few bolts needed another quarter turn. I'd recommend doing that because at around 120 pounds, this isn't a featherweight. You don't want a loose stem or a wobbly wheel on something that can move this fast. Key features that sold me were the 60-volt system, a motor that peaks around 3000 W and lives comfortably in the 2400 W sustained range, and 2 removable 60V18Ah batteries. That combo makes it feel serious. On throttle alone, it jumps harder than any standard e-bike I've owned. The brand talks about up to 50 mph, and I get where they're coming from with ideal conditions and a fully open controller. In my riding, de-restricted on flat ground, I've seen more like 31 to 37 mph, and it gets there quickly in turbo. That's plenty fast. If you're new to this space, quick note on terms. Throttle means you twist and the motor pushes without pedaling. Pedal assist means the motor adds power when your feet are turning the cranks. The pedal assist on this bike isn't the gentle type. It goes from not much to a lot pretty fast. If you prefer a slow roll-on, this will surprise you at first. The throttle has a slight delay before it hits, then it pulls strong. I got used to the rhythm after a couple rides, but it took some muscle memory. There's a legal angle here. Bikes with this kind of speed and power often don't fit normal e-bike classifications. Depending on where you live, you might need registration or plates to run it on public streets. I mostly keep it to dirt paths, alleys, and private areas because I don't want any trouble. The ride quality is better than I expected. The suspension is the standout. The front fork and the rear shock soak up holes and curb drops without drama. I've hit rough patches of gravel, hard-packed dirt, grass, and broken pavement, and never felt it bottom out. The frame is stout and the spokes are thick. That gives me confidence to push it a bit. The wide bars are great when things get sketchy because they add leverage, but they also make slow, tight turns a little awkward. The turning radius isn't scooter tight, so I plan my U-turns. Seat height is on the tall side. I'm comfortable, but I think riders under about 5'9" might be on their toes at stops, and with the weight up high, that can be intimidating. Maneuvering it in a cramped garage takes some patience. On range, I tracked a handful of rides. With both batteries installed, I averaged around 33 miles before my displays showed roughly 60% remaining. That was mostly throttle, a lot of turbo mixed surfaces, stop and go. Riding more moderately, I can see 40 miles being realistic on a single charge. And if you use a lot of pedal assist on lower modes, stretching closer to the mid-70s across both packs isn't crazy. For anyone new, a quick battery note. 60V is about the system voltage, which relates to how hard the motor can be pushed, and amp hours give a rough idea of capacity. More generally means more range, but your speed, weight, terrain, and wind all matter. Swapping the packs works, but the top battery is finicky to slide in cleanly. I've scratched a little paint getting it in and out. Not a deal breaker, just a bit annoying. The storage area in the fake tank looks big in photos. In reality, it holds small essentials, lock, multi-tool, maybe a compact bottle if you squeeze it. The cockpit is simple and friendly. There's a bright 5-inch LCD in the center that shows speed, battery, and power draw. It's easy to read in daylight and at night. The NFC ignition is a cool touch. I tap a card to wake the bike. Is it bulletproof security? No. But it's more convenient than keys rattling around, and it adds a small layer of deterrence. Controls are labeled clearly. You get 3 riding modes: Eco, Standard, Turbo. Eco helps stretch range, Standard is a good everyday balance, and Turbo is for wide open fun. The headlight is bright enough for night rides. The horn is loud. The blinkers work, though I wish the side visibility was better. They're more obvious from behind than from the sides. Braking is where I'm a little mixed. Hydraulic brakes are the right call on a machine this heavy and fast. On this unit they're okay, but not amazing. The 4-piston calipers sound strong on paper, and they're fine for normal riding, but at speed or downhill, I have to plan ahead. I tested a couple of emergency stops, and it took longer to scrub off speed than I'd like. If you ride aggressively or carry a passenger, if your local rules allow that, a pad upgrade or a higher friction rotor set would be worth considering. In my opinion, that's the one area that feels a step behind the powertrain. Day to day, what I enjoy most is how confident it feels on bad roads. It crushes potholes, loose gravel, and chewed-up alleys. It's perfect for riders who want a small, powerful machine that happily lives off pavement but can still hop onto streets when needed. The weight helps it feel planted, and the geometry inspires me to stand up over bumps and ride it like a little dirt bike. I don't baby it, and nothing has creaked or rattled out of place after several weeks. I did re-torque bolts after the first few rides and again after a dozen miles, which is a habit I'd recommend on any powerful e-moto. From my experience, assembly is beginner-friendly if you're patient. The power is legit. The suspension is better than the price would make you think, and the overall build is tough. The weak spots are the brake bite at higher speeds, the top battery fitment, the abrupt pedal assist behavior, and the tall stance for shorter riders. I also wish the turn signals were more visible from the sides. If you're wondering who should buy this, I'd recommend this for riders who want real off-road capability, people with rough commutes who value suspension and big tires, and anyone stepping up from a standard e-bike who's ready for more speed and can store a heavier machine. If you're new to fast e-bikes, start in Eco or Standard, learn how the throttle ramps in, and give yourself space to practice braking. If you need a super light, easy-to-carry e-bike for stairs or tight apartments, this isn't it. In conclusion, the Bootime GT73 Pro delivers strong power, great suspension, solid range with dual batteries, and a rugged vibe that puts a smile on my face. It needs stronger brakes and a smoother battery swap, but the core ride experience is exciting and dependable. Key features that justify it for me are the 60V system, the sturdy chassis, the real deal off-road tires, and the simple, readable display with NFC. It's perfect for rough roads and back paths, and it's a blast when you open it up in Turbo where it's legal and safe to do so. I will update specific information about the Bootime GT73 Pro in the comments. Don't forget to catch my next video.